If you want to be a highly sought after ghostwriter and a contracted ghostwriter, then come closer because someone is about to scatter this table right now. Previously, I put out some videos about ghostwriting on my YouTube channel and I dismantled a lot of things. Many newbie writers complain that they are facing rejections on platforms like Letterlux, Good Novel, but that's not going to be the case because I'm here again to give you another banger. You want to go this video, so you want to go and check this video and this video on my YouTube channel before coming to this one. All right, now massive congratulations to me. I hit 1,000 plus US dollars on my audiobook. It's just one book, one audiobook. I have other ones, but it's just one audiobook that gave me this money. Ghostwriting is real. You are the next in line if only you can stick to the end of this video. And don't forget, I have a free gift for you and a free offer for you that is gonna be so juicy that is gonna change your life. All right, now welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hi my loves, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. I so much love you guys and I'm here again to give you the normal value. Now you know I'm a person of value. Allow me put this disclaimer up here. I'm gonna put this disclaimer up here. If you don't like watching long videos, please scroll past this video. This video is not for you because this video I'm not gonna shout. I'm gonna take my time. It's gonna be a video that's gonna dismantle ghostwriting in the tiniest chunk for you. Do you get me? So if you know you have that TikTok vibe of scrolling past videos, you don't know how to watch a video till the end, then scroll past this video now because the value that is here is not for people that can scroll. It's for people that will sit down with their stationaries, grab their jotters and get massive value. Do you get me? Now let's dive into the video. Before we start, we want to start with the two platforms first. I talked about three platforms: Letterlux, Good Novel, Sterry. But I'm gonna start with Letterlux and Good Novel. So you want to grab your jotter. Now for the first thing I wrote down on my list here is, now many people is gonna cry, oh my gosh, I'm a newbie writer. Letterlux, what have I done to you guys? Many people, this is what you're gonna be saying right now. I know. Even those people that don't have any idea of writing that's gonna watch this video and will be interested, I know you'll be asking yourself those questions. Now, these platforms I just called, they are not Nigerian platforms. Letterlux, Good Novel, and Sterry. You're gonna work for them, and before you can work for them, you have to be a contracted writer. They have to review your work and accept your work before you can earn an exclusive contract from the company. Now, many writers face rejection. Now, many people will say they must have followed the tropes, they must have followed the popular tropes and the prompts that the platform give, but they still get rejected. Now, what is the problem? What are you doing wrong that these people don't want to tell you, but I'm here to give you for free? Now, the point one, I took my time to write them down on my notepad. Okay, first of all, let's look at the key ingredients in every story. The key ingredients in your story, in your novel. What are the key ingredients in your story and your novel? The first one is your book title, your blurb or your synopsis, and the trope you want to use. You have to understand this. By the time you have gotten the idea, your story idea, maybe from the prompt or whatever, from movies, from K-dramas, from Z-World, whatever, or an inspiration, when you have gotten your story idea, then you want to get your title, your book blurb, your synopsis. Remember I said if you watch till the end, there's a free gift for you at the end and you will get massive value. But if you skip through, you won't get value. Now let's continue. You want to make sure that you watch out for those key ingredients if you're actually doing it very well. Your book titling, your synopsis of your book, which is your blurb. Many people make this mistake. I know. One thing I always tell people, your blurb does not determine your contract. It is your first 5 keywords that determines your contract. But your blurb also is going to skyrocket your views on the long run. Now, what are the tropes, the popular trope we have in this ghostwriting business? We have the secret babies. We have the ex, that's your ex. You like going back to your ex. I don't know why Nigerians can relate. I'm not saying anything. Okay, we have X, we have secret babies, we have chasing her back, we have flash marriage, we have contract marriage, we have rejection. This one is a popular trope. I love this one. Rejection, we have second chance, etc. So you pick the trope you want to write on and make sure you specify it in your messy draft. Please, you need a messy draft. Tell your friend you need a messy first draft. Look at my own messy first draft. You need it as a newbie writer, as a writer. Whether you're a pantser or a plotter, you need a messy first draft. All right. Now, the next thing you need to take note of in your blog, you want to make sure that your blog, I see many people do this a lot. They go to a part of their chapter, maybe chapter 1, and pick out a statement that one of the character made or an utterance and use it as their blog. I'm not saying this is bad, but this is not a professional way of putting out your blog. Your blog should have the key moments in your novel without actually giving out everything. Your blog should have those brewing tension that the readers will be like, wow, I need to check this out. Wow, I need to check this novel out. Wow, this novel will be good. So your blog should expose not everything. Remember, if you expose everything, nobody wants to read a book that they already know what's going to happen. So you want to highlight those tensions. You want to introduce who is your female lead in your blog. And not say you should introduce the person, give us backstories in just your blog. No, you should tell us, okay, meet Eliana, who finds solace in the hands of Emmanuel. They find love, and you get just trying to tell us, for us to have, okay, this is a male lead, this is a female lead, this is their core struggle and all the rest. Then you now, one thing I see people make mistake a lot in their blog is that it's not relatable, and they don't have a call to action in their blog. After writing your blog, you want to make sure that you tell the readers what to do. A call to action can be find out in this interesting epic story, or find out what will happen to so and so, how will they be able to navigate so and so. Always ask questions at the end of your blog. This is a professional way of writing your blog. All right, that aside, I've talked about your book title, your blog, and your what's the other one I talked about? The trope. Now the next thing I want to talk about is your character profile. I'm going to come to the rejection aspect of good novel and Letterlux. That's why I say this video has a long way to go. It's going to dissect so many things for you. Do you get? So you have to stick to the end, all right? I love you. Now, you want to take note of your character profile. That is why you need your messy first draft. Tell your neighbor, grab your messy first draft. It's very important. Now, when you grab your messy first draft, you want to make sure that you sit down, think about your characters like a human being. This is the hack nobody's going to tell you. This is the hack your coach won't tell you. I always tell my students in my ghostwriting community on Telegram this particular hack. Treat your characters like they are human beings that have flesh and blood. Every story has what we call characters. Male lead, female lead, side characters. Even movies. The actor and actresses are the characters. So you want to make sure that while you're writing that novel, you are visualizing your characters in front of you. This is how you can write it believably. This is how you can write it and people will relate to it. When I mean you should create a character profile, sit down. Tell yourself. I gave my students an example. I told them, if you want to write a story, you've gotten the title of your story, you've gotten the blog, you've gotten the trope in which it falls. The next thing you want to do is look at the family members, your family. Yes, it's a practical class now. You want to look at your family and pick the characters from your family. People say, why? Why do you say so? I'm going to tell you why. Because, for example, let me give you an example. You come from an extended family. In that your extended family, there's that your cousin that's always too saucy. There's that your cousin that is too, maybe is a lady or is a girl. She's timid, she's shy. Make her your female lead. Letterlux wants weak female lead. Make her one of your characters, probably the female lead. By so doing, you'll be able to write that female lead the way that your cousin behaves, the way that your sister, that your elder sister behaves to you because she's older than you. She's saucy, or probably she's very weak. She doesn't have strength. By the time you're visualizing your elder sister, you can even name the female lead the same name your elder sister is bearing. So by the time you're writing it, you're seeing your elder sister in the pages of your chapters, and you're writing it just the way she's gonna react. If you're writing the characters and the character is going to react in a particular chapter, in a particular scene, think about how your sister will react if someone slaps her. Visualize it and put it in the paragraphs of your chapters. This will give us what we call interesting characters. What this platform wants. They want interesting, realistic characters. That's your mom that always loved nagging. Anything you do, she complains. Make her the mother-in-law of your novel. Give her the same name. Your mom's name is Katrina. Drag her into your novel and make her one of the characters, maybe the supporting characters, that's going to torture the female lead so that he doesn't end up with the son. Am I making sense? That your uncle that is very saucy, he's dominant. Whenever he comes, everybody, the conqueror, the lion is here. Everybody bow down to him. Make him your male lead. Make him your male lead. Give him the same name your uncle is bearing. By so doing, you visualize it and you write it real. The way your uncle is going to react, make this character react that way. By so doing, you're writing relatable characters. Characters that have flesh and blood running through their veins. Characters that cry. Characters that have a heart. Characters that think. Characters that fall in love. Characters that have a love interest. Characters that crushes on somebody. Write it like you're writing a human being that has flesh and blood. This is the first approach. You will keep getting rejected if you don't understand this technique. Write your characters like they have flesh and blood running through their veins. Do you get me? Visualize it. Writing is all about being able to visualize it. If you can't visualize it, your story is not going to stand out, and your author's dream won't come through. Imagine me cashing out $1,000 and I'm living my dream life. It can be you, but you have to pay the price. And the price is by watching this video till the end, because there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to unpack. Let me drink my juice. Now let's continue. A lot is going on. This table will be broken today. Don't worry. The next thing is your core struggle. I think you're not gonna shout. The next thing is your core struggle. Why is as if you're facing rejection on this platform is because you fail to understand. You fail to ask yourself, Nkechi, Bella, Victor, Emmanuel, this is my novel I want to write and put on this platform. What is the core struggle? You have not sat down. You want to apply 5K, first 5K word. Let me rush. I want to bag a contract. Hey, something is happening. Let me rush. Let me go and bag a contract. Blah, 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 blah. You haven't calmed down. You haven't calmed down to write your first 5K word, to tell yourself what is the core struggle of your novel. I'm going to come again. In every novel, think about your novel as your characters are the fuels your vehicle needs to move. The story needs to move. Don't be after other things. Just be after your characters. Your characters should have an internal conflict. There are flaws. Every human being has a flaw, has a like and dislike. That's why I say when you write that your brother as one of your characters, you can be able to write him well because you know his likes, you know his dislike, you know his fears, you know his goals. You know that girl he likes. You know who can calm him down, even if he's a very dominant alpha. What is that? Do you get me? So you should be able to do what? Write these people real. Because if it's real, your editors are going to give you the contract. There are no two ways about it. There are no two ways about it. Your character should have an internal conflict. Don't forget about the external conflict in the outside world. We, the editors, are interested in the story. And what is the story? The internal conflict of your characters. The character wants to succeed in life. What are those things that's going to limit them? Those obstacles, those things that's going to, their fears. These are their internal conflicts. They're going to push the plot forward and push the story forward. You're not getting it because you don't know it. And I'm here to tell it to you. That's why you have to subscribe and join the family. What is it? Everyday rejection, you're not doing it properly. I have a lot of things to talk about here now. The next thing I said cost struggle. Many newbie writers forget this. I told my students something. Oh my god, if I start talking, this video will get to 1 hour. I have a lot of things to say. That's why if you're not in my community on Telegram, you're missing out. You're missing out. If you're not in my, go and check the about section. You see the GIT-WEB course. You can click on the link to get registered and get into my community immediately. It choke. One thing I always tell writers is that the cost struggle in your novel, you need to identify it. This is what will make you see writer's blog will see you and run. You will not experience writer's blog because you know the cost struggle in your novel. I'm going to use one of my novels as an example. My novel on Pocket FM, The Payback of the Rejected Omega. The cost struggle in that novel is the payback. That is the cost struggle. This is the underlying cost struggle of my novel, Payback. And you want to make sure as a writer that that cost struggle doesn't come to pass quickly in your novel because it's the cost struggle. Imagine my novel is about payback, and at chapter 20, the payback has already happened. What will my readers read again? What will they listen to? If it's an audiobook, they will go. They'll say, thank God. Finally, the female lead has paid back the alpha for killing the parents. Because that my story, the alpha killed the female, rejected the female lead and killed the parents because the female lead took his staff of authority. You can go and check it out on Pocket FM. Payback of the Rejected Omega. So now, that payback is the cost struggle. I did not give my listeners that payback they are looking for. Instead, I tortured my female lead Vanessa, bringing up more tensions that will make my listeners care about Vanessa and stick to the end. Because they're after their cost struggle, they'll be like, when will this payback actually happen? When will Vanessa finally get justice for what Patrick the Alpha did to her? We are waiting for this payback. Please, author, give us this payback so we can finish the story and stop caring for this Vanessa. You're torturing Vanessa too much. We are caring for her. Make your readers, your listeners literally say these things in their mind. That's how they're going to stick to your story. Because you know the cost struggle. Now you keep it away from them by introducing more tensions, more conflicts, more plot that's going to push the story forward without actually answering the cost struggle. The cost struggle is still there. You want to give us some brewing conflict in each of the chapters that will make the pacing of your story move forward and the plot. For those people that say they are pantsers, that write as, please, if you're a pantser, let me know in the comment section so I'll know how to help you. I'm not saying it's bad, but me, I love plotting my novels with my 3-act structure. If you don't know what 3-act structure is, oh my gosh, you're missing out. Join my community. Join my community on Telegram, not on WhatsApp. 3-act structure, setting, confrontation, and resolution is what you need for a perfect story. I'm not capping. So please, there should be a brewing conflict in every of your chapters. You know, a chapter has to do with 1 or 2 scenes, or 1, 2, and 3 scenes, depending on how you want to structure it. But make sure that there is a brewing conflict in each of the chapters. There's a conflict happening. This is what we call the pacing of your story. This leads me to the next one, which I call pacing. We have the big picture pacing and the nitty-gritty pacing. That's the scene by scene, paragraph by paragraph, chapter by chapter pacing. You need to understand how slow and how fast your story is going. That's why you're not getting your contract, because you don't really understand it. There's a hack I told my students. Because you're my subscriber, if you're not subscribed to this channel, I will soon block you. Yes, I said that. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I will soon block you from viewing my videos. I will soon block you from viewing my videos if you're not subscribed to my channel. All right, let me continue. Now you want to understand the pacing of your story, how your story is progressing. Do you get the chapter by chapter, the scene by scene pacing? There's something I told my student. I told my student that you need to treat each of your chapters like a short story. Coach Victor Daniels is here, the founder of GIT-WEB course. It will choke, it will be bloody, guys. Forgive me. I don't mean bloody, I mean the other way around. Value pack. So what am I trying to say? Treat your chapters like a short story. This is what I mean. Treat your chapters like a short story that should have an exposition, inciting incidents, and at least rising action, even if you don't put climax. By the time you treat chapter 1, that Code Victor said in his YouTube channel that you should have inciting incidents, at least inciting incidents, rising action, and at least a little bit of climax. Chapter 2, inciting incidents, another inciting incident should happen in chapter 2, rising action, then possibly you can now settle the previous climax you raised in chapter 1 in chapter 2, because those previous climax you raised will raise some questions in the head of your readers that will be unanswered. Remember, I told you this is the scene by scene pacing, so you want to answer that questions, those conflicts you raised, those brewing conflicts you raised in chapter 1. You want to answer them, give answers to them through your actions and through the propagation of your stories and chapters in the next 2 to 3 chapters. So your readers will be satisfied. Okay, this female lead was about to be killed in chapter 1. Okay, chapter 3, we now know why she wanted to be killed. So you need to make sure that those questions you raised through the actions that were happening in that chapter should be possibly answered in the next 2 chapters. By so doing, you have a chapter filled with tension. The next chapter, a chapter of self-reflection and realization. Another chapter filled with tension. The other one slows down again. Like that, the pacing is going. Hot, cold, tension, calming down, realization, calming down. Do you get? By so doing, the plot of your story is going. If you're getting value, give this video a like before I continue. Otherwise, I will not continue. You're too stingy. All right, let's continue. Sorry, I'm drinking more. My truth. I'm trying to give you value, and value I'll give to you. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is your cliffhangers. Oh my gosh, if you've not watched this video, go and watch this video. I talked about cliffhangers, how to use cliffhangers when there's a new discovery, self-realization, or a big revelation. You could use cliffhangers. Now, using cliffhangers, many people, when I say use cliffhangers, people will be like, could Victor say that I should use cliffhangers? Let me look for one big almighty cliffhanger and make sure that each of my chapters are ending with a cliffhanger. Your cliffhanger could be anything, mustn't be a very large twist of fate, or maybe something miraculous happening, something significant, very big. No, just a realization can be your cliffhanger. The female lead realizing that her love interest was her enemy, or her love interest was the one that killed her parents. For example, the guy she's crushing on actually killed her parents. A realization of that can be a cliffhanger. You can end that chapter there. You mustn't end it with a very big twist of fate. Two people are fighting in a scene and one is about to slaughter the other one, then you end it there. You say it's a cliffhanger. It's a cliffhanger, but it mustn't be the cliffhanger for every of your chapters. You could be creative. Do you get? If everybody's life is all about action, nobody will be on this planet Earth. Give your characters a moment of reflection to process the brewing tension that they had before they go die to the way. Biko, do you get? Have fear God. All right, the next thing I want to talk about in this video, is the plot twist. Now, many of these platforms will say they want a very good plot twist. Now, what I mean by plot twist is a turning point of your character, something your readers were expecting, but you give them the opposite, the exact opposite of what they were expecting. Do you get? These plot twists can always happen in your chapters. That's why I say if you treat your chapters like a short story, you'll be able to give this plot twist somehow, even if it's not all, at least in 3 chapters out of your first 5 keywords. You already know that every chapter, every story should have an exposition, inciting incident, rising action, climax, falling action, denouement, or resolution. You already know that. I cannot begin to go into that. If you want to learn ghostwriting in details, then send me a DM, or you just purchase the GIT-WEB course. That's all in the about section, okay, for you to get a detailed explanation. But if you already know that, let's proceed. All right, now when you already know this, you now know that each of your chapters will have these things in will be comprised of all these particular things. Do you get these nitty-gritties? Now, by so doing, you'll be able to give us some plot twists At least in chapter 2, maybe chapter 4 should follow. There should be a plot twist that will be like, your editors will be like, wow, we didn't see this coming. I need to give this writer a contract. He knows or she knows her onion. Do you get the point? So that's why I say take notes. There's so many things I want to say. You have to take notes of everything I'm saying in this video. All right. Now the next thing here is your formatting of dialogue tags and editing. These are not even the main point. Oh, let me shock you. These are not even the main point. The main points are still coming, guys. Yeah, it's still on the way. It's still cooking. Still in this video. It took. Now you want to make sure that you're editing your work very well with Grammarly. If possible, make it your keyboard, so as you write it corrects you. Do you get? Now another thing you need to do is your dialogue tags and your action beats. You might know dialogue tag. Do you know action beats? I can't begin to teach that in this training. It's gonna be too long. So you need to what? Make sure that you are leveling up in the aspect of your dialogue tags and your action beats and your total editing of your book. Take notes. Grab your jotter. Take notes. In your chapter 1, keep your paragraphs simple and short. Don't use big grammar. I've said it before. Don't be over sophisticated. Don't use so much big grammar that your editors will think it was written by an AI. Don't. You want to keep a chapter. You want to keep a chapter between 1k to 1,500 words at least for these platforms. Do you get? So it's not too long or too short. Now you also want to make sure that you also want to make sure that the dumbest thing to do is to go, if there's any word like that, yeah, I think there's a word like that, someone should help me, is to go to a good level and start reading stories and start counting paragraphs that the writer was leaving, or the contracted author was leaving, for you so that you can replicate the same. Don't try that. Instead, you want to keep every paragraph just 2 to 3 sentences long, depending on the kind of sentence you're using. If you're using simple sentences, then you should keep it 3 sentences max. If you're using compound sentence or complex sentence, then maybe 1 or 2 sentences max for a paragraph. Then you give a space, another paragraph. You can use paragraph break when two characters are speaking. You want to inform your readers that there is a change in character perspective. Then you could use another paragraph to show us that, okay, another character is speaking here. And maybe when a character is saying something, you could put it in quotation mark in another paragraph and also space your work properly. Don't say I did not tell you. All right, now that is just the part 1 of this video. All right, want to go into the second chunk. Remember, it's like an onion, it choke. I want to go into the second chunk of this video. You don't want to miss it out. Now, if you're just if you're just new here, you want to tweet me on Twitter. If you have anonymous questions, you want to ask special questions you don't want to put out in the comment section, you want to tweet me on Twitter so that I can specifically make a video concerning your case. Tweet me and tag me on Twitter and I'll be willing to make a video on your case. But if you have a general question you want others to learn, you could put it down in the comment section and I'll gladly respond to you. Okay, now let's continue. I want to now give you some instances why your book was rejected. Some instances why your book was rejected. I'm gonna give you some instances in this video right now. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna give you some instances why your book was rejected. All right, now the first instance I'm gonna give you is your book might be slow in pace because you're trying to set unnecessary backstories, thereby dragging the overall pacing of your book, introducing many characters when the story just began, when we just need to focus on our female lead and male lead alone. I'm going to explain this. Your story might be rejected because you're dragging the pacing of your story, and pacing is all about how slow and how fast your story is going. Now your story is rejected simply because you're starting chapter 1 and you're not telling us backstories. You know, all those newbie writers that just like to claim, that just like to set atmosphere. of their story before they start writing. Letterlux and Ghostwriter are telling you that you don't need to set that atmosphere. You don't need to tell us backstory. You don't need to tell us how Nkechi died. That's why she's behaving like this. Let it unfold through the scene by itself. You don't need to tell us. Your readers are not daft. They will understand as they are reading. That's what you want to say. Put it, let it happen. Put it in the present. Try to relate it to the present. Let it unfold. If you're writing in first person POV, let the character use his mouth and say it in her own perspective, in her own unique voice. What is it? Every time backstory. First chapter 1, you're already giving us backstory of what happened to your characters in the past. You spend 2 chapters telling us backstory and you want to get a contract. Come and get a contract now. You get a rejection. So avoid those overly backstories you're giving to try to prove a point. This is not literature. You want to come and prove a point for us. What are you proving? Let it unfold as the story progresses. Let us see it through your scenes. Let us see it through the character's voice, through the character's unique tone. Do you get me? Now, another thing I see many newbie writers make is introducing many characters in just chapter 1. Kilode, what's your problem? What's the color of your problem? Should I give you ketchup so you calm down? You mix it with bread. What's the color of your problem? Introducing so many characters, only you chapter 1. If it's you now, I put a movie for you to watch on Z-Word. And in chapter 1, let's not use Z-Word. You're watching a movie. In just the first scene, you're seeing 20 persons. And those 20 persons are actively speaking. Will you take note of their name? Will you be able to remember their name? How will you remember their name? Can you remember 20 persons in just one graph in one chapter? No, relate it now. But you want to pack 10 chapters, 7 chapters, and just chapter 7 characters, 7 people. You want to just throw them in chapter 1. So son-in-law is talking, female lead is talking, mistress is talking, supporting female lead 2 is talking, gateman is talking. Every little cockroach you want to introduce in the family. The stepsister, you introduce that one. The nephew that is on his own. The children that is on inside his tummy, the stomach yet to be born. You introduce them in chapter 1. What is your problem? Should I hit you this tripod? What's your problem? I'm asking you. Tell me in the comment section, so I'll help you. What is it? Now, you want to make sure that you avoid introducing so many characters in just chapter 1. I'm not saying you should not introduce characters. Introduce them as the story progresses. Who does that? You're watching Z-Word and the first chapter, first scene, they don't pack people full for your face. Which one will you fall in love with? Which one will you like? Which one can you remember? Even if they off that TV and say, okay, which character can you remember in that novel or in that TV series? You don't know because there's so many characters all over the place. What is it? So you want to make sure that you start with your female lead and your male lead. Then maybe the mistress supporting female lead. Simple. As the story progresses, maybe in chapter 4, 5, 6, 7, you can now drag in chapter one character, maybe as the villain. Introduce. Do you get small is pushing the plot forward, bit by bit. Don't pack everything in our faces, please. You're boring us. Get out of here. Now, the next thing you want to take note of that, you want to take note of your character development. Your character development might be wrong. I told you that we are interested in your story, which is the internal conflict. See your story as the character's journey. Your character is trying to journey through life, navigate through life. See your story like that, and you will see yourself get a contract. Visualize your story. Stop writing to make money. Write for your story to stand out. What is it? Want to cash out? This is not Ponzi. If you want to do Ponzi, can't do a flea market. Will soon come for me. Sorry. Sorry for the laugh. I'm not saying it, so let's continue. If you want to do Ponzi, go and do MMM, bring 2 to bring 3. Not in writing. Writing is not Ponzi. Writing is not Ponzi. You will have to be devoted. You have to put in the work, the efforts, before you see results, my loves. Okay? Now, the next thing you need to know is your character development. Even human beings have character developments. You self-check it. I drag you to an environment for the first time. You stayed here for 6 months. Won't you change? The things, your fears and your dislikes, won't it change? You're looking at me like that. No, tell me. Then why will you make your characters not to grow in your novel? But you want to grow in real life. If I catch you not writing relatable characters that have flesh and blood running through their veins, I'll hit you this my first draft. I'm provoked. Do you get me? This is the tone I use to talk to my students. That's why they see results. If you can embrace this video now, watch it like your life depends on it, you will see results. Even before coming to my YouTube channel, even before coming to my Telegram group. I think I'm playing. Alright, let's continue. Now, many people just throw in many tropes in one plot line. You don't want to do this. Avoid throwing many tropes in one plot line. That's why I say get your jotter. It's a lot to unpack in this video. Avoid throwing many tropes in one plot line. Okay, let me drink my mouth. Sorry, I'm tired. That you want to say, type it in the comment section. I type it. Okay, now I want to continue moving on. Another thing I see many writers do is that they try to what, give us a lot of plot line in just the first chapter. You're throwing in so many plots in just the first what, chapter. In just few chapters, you have packed all the things that are supposed to happen in 20 chapters. In first 5 chapters, you dragged it, and it's not even having coherence. It's just so jam-packed, soggy, redundant. Pack everything. They say we should write fast pace. Yes, you. That's why you're getting rejected. Let your story flow. Let your editors read your book and be like, okay, yes, this chapter 1 is rhyming with chapter 2, and chapter 2 is actually better in chapter 3. Let it flow. Okay, the conflict that we saw in chapter 3 raised a question in our head, but we got the answers in chapter 3. In chapter 4, this author is good to go. So you continue with that flow. Continue with that pacing. Do you get me? This perfume is too strong. Oh my gosh. It's worth $1 million. Sorry. Alright, now I want to continue. Now, here is the hack. Write your first sample chapters and leave them for a few days before rereading it. Then you read a popular book on these platforms, then before you continue. This will help you. Then you compare this, your trope. Let's say if you're writing an X book now, a book about X CEO. Go and read a popular book on the platform already about trope, about X or CEO. Then you come back and compare yours. Is it clichéing? Is it rhyming? Can you feel it? If it's not, make slight changes, then continue. Do you get? Don't try to write your first 5 keyword in 1 day or in 2 days. You're not doing writing sprints. I catch you and break your head. Don't try to write it in 1 day. You want to make sure that you write. I write my outline 2 days. I see the draft outline because I'm a plotter. If you're a pantser, come in peace. I don't have a problem with you. It's your life. But don't write your 5 keyword in 1 day. Think, sit down, read. Go to the platform and stick to read books in the platform. Try the read book. Try the read. Yes, you, I'm talking. Stop giving ghostwriters to write for you. Read and grow. Grow yourself. Write that book yourself. If you're rushing to AI, if I catch you use AI, you get rejected. Now the next thing you want to note is avoid slow, unnecessary plots at all costs. Say the book is about arranged marriage. Do not throw in sold trope. Let's say the character was now sold to somebody in an arranged marriage in the 2nd chapter when they just got married on chapter 1. It's an arranged marriage now. They got married in chapter 1. Now chapter 2, somebody's sold. You're jam-packing tropes together and it's not even flowing. So you want to avoid that, okay? The next thing, are you jotting down? Have you subscribed? Or I should fry egg for you. I have egg in my house, so let me show you. Should I give you 1 egg? I should fry egg for you before you subscribe. To your eyes. Now, you want to make sure that you what? Take note of this thing I'm saying. Another thing I wrote down here, I said, do not under any circumstances lose focus on your male lead and your female lead. And if there is a side, only if there is a side female lead, which is the mistress or the ex-lover or the current lover, don't lose focus. Don't deviate. Don't deviate from the main core struggle of your novel. If your novel is about payback, stick to that payback. While you're keeping that payback from happening, bring in other conflicts that will keep the story going and keep readers on their edge of their seats. why they are still hopeful for the main core struggle to be fulfilled. Because once you fulfill that main core struggle, people, they're out of your story. You have given them what they want. They are satisfied. They will no longer read again. That's why many people get to the midpoint of their story, the middle of their story, and people begin to drop. Views begin to drop, readers begin to drop, writer's block sets in because you're a pantser and you're comfortable with your pantser. Stay there. Don't come and start learning how to plot using the 3-act structure. They play. Alright, now the next thing you want to note is do not drag the opening chapters. Keep them at a quick pace. Keep them at a quick pace until chapter 10. Do you get? Do not drag the opening chapters. Pretend that you are cooking and that your ingredients need a quick run in high heat before they drop to low heat, then high heat again before stewing, aka ending. Do you get me? So see your first 5 keyword as, oh my gosh, this Indomie needs to done. I need to give my editor this Indomie. Oh my gosh, she needs to see this book. Do you get? Let conflict not just be happening. Let it happen, and let's give it a reason for happening. Let it be justifiable. Don't say, okay, you're giving us conflict, that you're packing conflict into the story, and the conflict is not even leading to another conflict. The conflict is just there as conflict. We are not seeing anything aside. Read, you understand what I'm about to say. Do you get me? Have you subscribed? You need egg. Okay, I'll give you, okay? Send me an account number or drop it down below. Now, moving on, we want to, the next point I wrote down here, start with the female lead. Oh my gosh. This is applicable to both female Letterlux and novel. Start with the female lead POV. Do you get? Start with your female lead POV. Make it emotional. See, majority of stories on Letterlux have weak female lead. Make them extremely weak. Make them emotional. Use first person POV. I've seen people get rejected for using third person POV in the beginning chapter. At least in your beginning chapter, if you're a newbie, except you're a contracted writer already, if you're a newbie, try and use first person weak female lead POV in chapter 1. Yes, I said so. So you can bag a contract. Do you get me? Show us the emotion, because first person POV gives you the avenue, gives you the freedom to show us that emotion in that scene, to show us how tortured that character is, to show us how disintegrated that character's heart, how she's feeling at that point in time. That's why I say use first person POV. It shows us the emotion, it shows us the tension, it shows us the conflict in our heart, it shows us our internal struggles, our flaws, our fears, our obstacles, our limitations, and the decisions she's going to take to remedy that situation. Do you get me? Use first person POV. And you mustn't use first person first, and you mustn't use female lead first person POV first chapter, male lead first person POV second chapter. You mustn't do it like chapter 1 female lead, chapter 2 male lead, chapter 1 female lead, chapter 3 female lead, chapter 4 male lead. No, you mustn't follow that cliche stuff. You can do chapter 1 female lead, chapter 2 female lead, chapter 3 female lead, chapter 4 male lead. Depending on how your story is progressing, it's your story. Stop copying people's story. Be creative. The main thing, get what the platform wants, understand it, then write yours. Do you get me? I believe you're jotting that your jotter must have been filled by now, right? We have not started. Though. It's still long. So drag your chair closer because it's about to get juicier. Alright, the next thing I wrote down here, I said start your chapter with your preferred trope. Do you get? If any trope you love, right? If it's rejection, start your chapter with a rejection scene. I always see people make this mistake a lot. They'll say their title of their book is Rejected Omega. You open first chapter 1, you'll be looking for the rejection. I'm talking to you, Stinkechi. Annabelle that is watching. Yes, it's you. Don't look elsewhere. It's you I'm talking to. Your story is about divorce to restart. You're already hitting yourself in the leg if you're a newbie and you title your story Divorce to Restart. Make sure you have the capacity to give us that divorce and that restart in your first 5 keywords. Understand titling before you just throw titling, because titling can damage your contract and make them reject your work. When your title is giving another thing, you're writing another thing. Your title is about reborn. What we are seeing there is romance. Sorry, what we are seeing there is rejection. How does it kind of intertwine? we are seeing something totally off. Or we are finding the rejection. How can you say your title of your book is Rejected Omega and rejection happened in chapter 5? Fear God now. Chapter 1, 2, use it to explain backstory. Probably explain the unborn babies or the mysteries that wasn't even necessary. Or use it to explain how your character woke up, had breakfast, wore her fine dress, did her makeup, or rub lipsticks, chat with some friends, when panicking, picnicking, or whatever it is to call it. You spend chapters saying nonsense. You now realize, oh, my title of my novel is Rejection. Oh, I'm back to my senses now. Let me write rejection in chapter 4. You'll be rejected. You're laughing. You'll be rejected. So take note. If your title of your chapter is divorce, as your editor opens your book, let divorce slap them on their face. Make it punchy, blow punchy. Use hooks. If you're not in my training, you're missing. What is it? Use hooks. As your editor is opening your first chapter, your title should punch them on their face. Your title is about chasing her back, running back to my ex. Let it happen in first chapter. Punch it on their face like this. Rejection. Let the female lead be outrightly rejected in the first line of your first chapter. In the first chapter. Don't drag it. Don't keep it. Don't keep that juicy stuff. We want that action. We want it. Give it to us. Don't keep it too far away from us. I subscribed to my GO-TV recently because I want to watch Big Brother. I love drama. So if they're not giving me drama, I'm not subscribing again. Yes, your editors want to see drama. Give them drama and you get your contract. If you don't give them drama, you come and put your hands across your leg and show us how two characters are doing love and light without any emotions. They're just doing their nonsense. There's nothing back in it. You're just writing. You're just ready to go. You're not ready. Now, the next thing I want to say is avoid anything that is not romance in a romantic novel. If you're a church boy, church girl, please leave this place. This video is not for you. I repeat, if you tie scarf, you love doing churchy things, and you want to write a romantic, erotic story you want to put on these platforms. I always tell my students something. Let me tell you the hack I tell my students. Let me come closer, let me tell you. If you want to write a bad novel that you're going to put 18 plus, let me tell you what you're going to do. Before you start writing that story, you want to make it real, right? Watch bad films. I not say watch porn. Pico. No. Your mind is dirty. Watch bad movies. Yes, bad movies. Why are you watching bad movies? As you're watching bad movies, you grab your pen. You want to take note how the female lead is screaming. When the male lead is hitting the G-spot, you want to take note of how she grabbed the bedsheet vehemently. You want to take note how she was mourning in that video, in that film you're watching, that bad movie you're watching. Take note of how they are screaming. What is she saying? What is she saying? Choke me, baby. Take note of all those lines, all those push-up lines, those sentences. Use it in your novel to be relatable because you watched a bad movie before you started writing. What is it? Somebody say logic. Somebody say value. Type value in the comment section. What is it? Use it. And you'll be able to write relatable characters, relatable things that people will be like, wow. Oh my God, I finished reading that chapter and I literally come. Because you wrote it very well. What is it? You want to write a romantic story and a very sexual story, and we are looking for the sex in your chapter 1, 2, 3. You can't find it. You're just there pretending, summarizing the sex, telling us sex instead of to show it properly. Show us how the guy crept into her skirt. If your story is about romance, everything should be about romance. Romance with their life journey, how the characters are navigating through that journey of love. But don't remove romance from there because it's a romantic novel. We want that romance. Your readers are bad. We want it. I love bad things. Do you get me? So don't keep it away from us. Want to see it? Want to see those characters kiss? If you know that we are expecting their first kiss, then delay it a little. Delay it a little. Don't give us that first kiss. When they're trying to kiss, a third female lead mistress should come into the way, or that their friend that love gossip should come into the way, and they won't kiss again. The readers will be like, oh my gosh, they were supposed to kiss. But let me wait if this writer is going to put it in the next chapter. They'll come again and read again. But you keep withdrawing it. You keep delaying it. Because your readers want that first kiss. But you understand the assignments. You're preventing them from getting that first kiss. Somebody say value. Somebody say value. It choke. It choke. Do you get the point? Let me take my notes. If you're getting value, if you don't subscribe or like, share this video, what is it? It will choke. This one pass GIT course. It pass any course you can get. It pass any course. It's a full webinar on its own. I'm not capping. Next, you want to write believable characters. Write believable characters that people can believe and see. That's why I say drag your family members into your novel and make them one of the characters. You're gonna stand out. If you love someone, so you will go for the person, right? Then why will your characters love someone and they will not be able to go for the person? But when you love someone in real life, you'll be able to go for the person. Ask yourself, are you writing believable characters? They rejected my work, Are you writing believable characters? No, are you writing believable characters? You're looking at me like that with that bad eye. Some things are just out of your character's control. Quite fine. But sometimes give your characters flaws. Don't write a perfect character. Nobody's perfect on this world, in this planet Earth. Give them temperament. It can be a sanguine, pragmatic, choleric nature like me. Give them a temperament so we can care for them. We'll be like, oh, this character is not just doing all this thing. They actually had the backstory. Oh, the male lead was actually humiliated. That was what makes him kind of toughens up and try to get back at those people that humiliated him. Now he has made money, he has made it in life. He now wants to get back at his uncle. So all those things make him become dominant. Give us, do you get, so we can feel for them. I don't say you should spend 2 hours, 2 chapters, same backstory. That will give you rejection. Avoid it. Okay? Now the next thing you want to take note of is avoid telling without showing. I've made a detailed explanation of this video. Towards the middle, I explain telling and showing. Sorry, showing rather than telling. You show, not tell. And the dialogue tags. I explained it towards the middle of this video. You want to go and check it out. And what? Come back to this one. Okay, now, before we continue, I want to quickly say this. I want to know in the comment section, are you a plotter or a pantser? Or a pantster? I want to know. Let me know in the comment section. Alright, now let's continue. Now you need to ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question. Do your scenes, that's your scenes of your chapters, do your scenes of your chapter triggers readers' feelings? Take note of this question. While you're writing that chapter 1, you're rushing, you want to apply for a contract. Ask yourself, do your scenes triggers readers' feelings? You also ask yourself, do readers sympathize with your characters? Can I feel for your character? If you ask yourself this question and the answer is no, then you have not started. You haven't started. You have a lot of things to do. Do you get me? The next one is your female lead / male lead likable? When I tell people to write interesting characters, likable characters, if a female lead is not tortured, weak, damaged, ostracized, we're not going to like her. We're not going to feel for her. We're not going to care about her. She has an unborn baby in her womb, but she's always maltreated. The alpha locks her in a cage, tortures her. That will make us care for her and like her. Another way we can also like a character is the way you first impression of your introduction of that character, the way you introduce that the mother-in-law will make us like her. We'll be like, people love wicked people. You have not seen that adage that says the ugly ones refuse to die. Some people will literally vote for people that are giving them content, that are hot-headed. Some readers like those kind of characters. So it's the first impression you give to that characters, how you introduce them, how you introduce the male lead to be dominant, sets you apart from the competition. Do you get me? So take note. Make your female lead and your male lead likable. Make the characters likable. They love likable characters. Exciting plot twists. Are your dialogues rich enough? Ask yourself this question. Are your dialogues rich enough? If they pinch your character, do your character closes their mouth? Come, let me pinch you. Come, let me pinch you. Let me prick you. If you close your mouth, won't you say, won't you frown your face? Won't you do some kind of facial expression? Won't you react? Won't you say something? Won't you try to slap me back? Put all those reactions in the paragraphs of your scenes. Don't summarize it for us. Don't just say they fought. Show us how they fought, and show us how the person that they slapped was feeling. If I slap you, will you keep quiet? Then why would they slap your character and you keep quiet in that scene, in that paragraph? You did not tell us how that character reacted. Did she clench her fist? Did she punch the wall? You just summarized it that you want to get a contract. You just summarize that paragraph. No, you just sit down like this, summarize and finish. As if that character doesn't have flesh and blood, doesn't have a life. Can't me slap you if you keep quiet. They're molesting your character, torturing your character. Your character cannot soliloquize using first person POV. Your character cannot say something. Can't me molest you if you will not go one side and be crying and say some things in your heart. Then why would they be molesting your characters in your chapter one, and she cannot say some things that will make us feel for her, the readers? You have not started. You have not started. You see, let me tell you something. I don't just teach, I dismantle. I know they teach, I dismantle concepts. If I catch this concept, I break it into pieces. My GIT-WEB course, if you haven't gotten it, oh my gosh, you have not ready to level up. My training is to humble professionals. Professionals come into my Telegram group and they are humbled. I'm not capping. If you think you're a professional, get my training and get blown away. Let's continue. All right. I'm gonna continue. You need to also take note of the fact that I need to ask yourself: have you read your first 5 keywords aloud to yourself? Remember I told you something? After writing your first 5 keywords, lock yourself in the door, lock yourself in your room, and read your first 5 keywords aloud to yourself. Is it making sense to you? You can spot some of the errors and grammatical blunders. You sort them out. By the time you read it aloud, chapter by chapter, you're going to see your mistakes and you're going to rectify it. You give it to your friends that are very critical. Ask them what are their take on it before applying. If you apply through an editor, you give it to your editor that you trust. You mustn't give it to me. I only review books for my students alone. Take note of that. If you want to be my student, then opt in for my training and you be a part of my community. But you can join my WhatsApp group through the link. My WhatsApp group is where I drop updates, free updates. You can join my WhatsApp community. Link will be in the description box below and the pinned comment. So do where to check it out. All right, we now want to go into the third section of this video. It's a 3 batch. Oh my god, my month is almost finishing. I came with month. What do you come with? Popcorn and book. What are you here with to watch this video? You're stationary and what? Popcorn, right? Because the video choke, it's too long. If you have gone to Lagos, do you know Aswani Market? This video long past Aswani Market. My Lagosians, you will understand what I mean. Alright, let's continue. Alright, if you can't write a werewolf story, start with a billionaire romance. Rejection is everywhere. Luna, Lycan, Alpha is everywhere. Omega. If you don't know how to write werewolf story, please start with billionaire romance. Start with divorce. Start with flash marriage. Start with contract marriage. Start with second chance. Start with X. Start with CEO and his secretary. You must not write a werewolf story as a newbie starting out. You're getting rejected. Have you tried other genres? Make it be say they reject your work. They look me. Have you tried other genres? See your eyes. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is books to read for reference on Letterlux sister novel app. I'm going to put Letterlux sister novel app on the screen so you can go and check it out and read these books. I'll just put out a few books. Go and check out the Alpha's exclusive stripper on Letterlux. Read it. It's going to help you get started. Read. Remember, you need to read. Follow the trend. Number 2, claimed by my 3 alphas. Go and check it out on Letterlux. Read it. It's going to help you. Moving on, you want to make sure that you build up a compelling opening chapter hook, which could include a low status protagonist. Remember your story, we have the protagonist and the antagonist, which is the villain. All right, the protagonist is the main character. Now, a low status protagonist can be a compelling opening chapter hook you could use in your chapters, in your stories. Now, what is a low status protagonist? Now, this shows how this doesn't only include how abused the female lead is. For example, Your female lead, which is the protagonist, is from a poor background. She's abused. You could also tell us how physically abused she is. Remember, in the hierarchy of werewolves, we have the alpha, the lunar, the betas. Am I saying it well according to hierarchy? Somebody should help me. The alpha, the lunar, the betas, the gammas, and the whatever. So now omegas are actually very weak. They are the last. They are very weak, so you could make them physically abused omega female lead, mentally abused lunar. Lunar are always mentally abused. They are very powerful. They're after the alpha, you get the lunar, but they're high in status but low in relationship. Maybe they are not loved, or their alpha is not treating them very well. You could talk about that. Talk about their fears. Talk about their internal struggle. Focus on their internal struggle. Build it very well. Build the world around it. All right. Now note, a weak to strong protagonist will help propel the plot forward. Do you get? A weak to strong female lead will help propel the plot forward, because most of these platforms love reading female lead centered novels. All right. It usually has two patterns. The female lead is really weak and she gradually becomes strong. That is character development, character arc. You want to incorporate this in your novels. As your novel progresses, you mustn't do it as a goal in just your chapter 2 or chapter 1, 2, 3. No. Or the female lead has her identity and other people gradually realizes it. Maybe the female lead was cursed, but aside that curse, she has a very powerful identity that nobody knows. But later as the story progresses, people begin to find out. And now from her weakness, she begins to grow and get strong and see herself going strong. Do you get? So that is it. Character development sorted out. Now I also said you could start an opening hook of your chapter with an exciting incident that alters the fate of your protagonist, usually the female lead. Now Letterlux and Go Novel, I told you, Letterlux, they love weak female lead like mad. I don't know what those people saw in weak female lead. So you want to take note of your inciting incidents. Do you get? That's where the 3-hour structure comes in, and you will learn that in the masterclass, the GIT-WEB masterclass. Do you get? Now take notes. Your inciting incidents, common inciting incidents could be the female lead is betrayed / rejected / divorced. Female lead is found to have a special ability. Maybe she lost her sister or whatever. Or female lead is found in a critical, or female lead fails a critical event. Maybe wolf shifting, she fails to shift, or mate ceremony. Maybe she doesn't sense her wolf or her partner, or her mates rejected her or something. This could be an inciting incident that sets your story in motion. Do you get? Always take note of your inciting incident. Ask yourself, what is the inciting incident of this chapter I'm about to write? Do you get? Is it rejection? Then let it happen already. Don't keep it far from us, okay? Common pitfalls. Common pitfalls is spending one to two chapters on background information or foreshadowing. I've said this at the start of this video. You want to avoid that. The inciting incident only gives a strong hook but doesn't establish the central conflict or goal that the protagonist will pursue throughout the story. So you want to make sure that you're giving us something to talk about. There should be a brewing conflict that should be sorted out in later chapters in each of the preceding chapters. Do you get? Remember, use a strong hook from the beginning. This is what will keep your editors glued to your book. Do you get? So you need to understand this. Now I promised in the flyer that I will be showing you some editors, some prompts. I will drop the link to the prompt in the pinned comments. Some writing prompts you can use to get started. Do you get? Then for emails of senior editors that I trust and I've worked with, will be available for only those in my community in the GIT-WEB masterclass training. That's the only way you can get the senior editors' emails and contacts that I trust. Because Letterlux, that was popularly known as Fizzle, was actually changed to Letterlux, and many A's and senior editors have dropped. So they are bringing new people. That's why many people are facing rejections and all the rest, most at times. So I've gotten to a hold of some of them, and I will only share them for people in my community on Telegram, not on WhatsApp. All right. Now the next thing I want to talk about is story. Now we are almost coming to an end. Somebody should say, please crack your hand. Oh my god, this class was too juicy. Crack your hands. You have tried if you're still to this point. Let me give you, what should I give you now? Bama? You want Bama? Alright, now let's continue. For story, you want to focus on cliche works. Just go to story platforms, read books on story. You understand what they want. They love cliche stuffs. Do you get? They love cliche stories, especially ex, CEOs, son-in-laws, mafia. Very love this kind of stories under these tropes. Basically, billionaire romance. Leave the werewolf for Letterlux. Story love, billionaire romance. So go and explore there. Oh my gosh. But story, they shall get wahala. But it's not really worth it for me. I would say put that energy in good novel and Letterlux. That's my take. Don't drag me in the comment section, please. Alright, lastly, here comes the offer I have for you. Alright? Here comes the offer I have for you. Let me take my notes. Please, if you have not subscribed, you're practicing witchcraft. Change. And if you have not liked this video, and you have not subscribed, you're practicing witchcraft, because I see no reason why I will sit down here. Give you value, and at the end of the day, you don't subscribe. You're practicing witchcraft. Now I'm going to quickly give you the free offer I have for you. Let the drum roll. If you've watched to this point, congratulations to you. If you want to sign on Pocket FM, you DM me. I will give you the link to sign up on Pocket FM, and I will assist you a little bit. You can check out my video on Pocket FM if you want to apply for a contract on Pocket FM. It's an audiobook platform. Then also the offer here is about my GIT-WEB course. My GIT-WEB training is at the about section of my YouTube channel. So when you check the about section of my YouTube channel, you see my GIT-WEB course. You click on it and you purchase my GIT-WEB course. It's 40,000 naira, and it's definitely worth it. If you want to level up your writing, you want to take this whole YouTube video I made now. You love my voice, you love my ginger, you want to hear me often, you want to actually get the whole full gist of this particular video, then just go there, purchase it, and I'll be willing to guide you. Remember, I only review my student books, but you can join my WhatsApp community and get free updates. Sometimes to enter my head, I will drop some free updates, and if I want to post anything on my YouTube channel, my WhatsApp community gets it first. Do you get? So that is that. See you in my next video. Bye. I love you guys.